Till this video will get published, Magh Panchami would knock the door. This year, fortunately or unfortunately, it has fallen between board exams. May the celebration will be less, but not the devotion. For exams, not only me, but everyone has proceeded their works earlier. So, doing this project 2 months ago, on Instagram there was a chaos on Mahavidya. Nowadays, children's getting introduced to the Mahavidyas try to substitute the Vedic goddess with the Tantric one. Trend is to worship Matangi instead of Saraswati. So they started arguing whether Matangi holds Pashamankusha or Kharga or Veena. As usual, sounded very cringe to me, and I set out for Tattva, philosophy. Kamala needed some research of mantra, but for Matangi, as we are students, we should identify her keeping our eyes closed. Her variations of name, Shyamala, Mantrini, Chandalini or Matangi, won't confuse the mind who has blindly believed her. Now, like Kamala or Lakshmi Devi, the topic of Saraswati or Matangi is very heavy and earthy as well. Wealth and education. As we have gone through wealth, now we will seek to education through two great personalities. As Saraswati boons Chandal to become Valmiki and incarnates as Brahmi to Rishabhnath to distribute the knowledge of science in the world, same like that, Matangi incarnated in the lap of Muni Matanga and make the fullest person of the state to Kaviratna Kalidas. Stories are many, hard to arrange, harder to narrate. Thus, on the occasion of Vasant Panchami, syncing Vedic Saraswati with Tantric Matangi, starting today's episode, Vayavye Shyamala of the series Dasadishe Dasavidya, only on the YouTube channel Utso the Source, where not only you see artworks, but also know the stories behind.
সিংহাসন শোভিনী অর্ধচন্দ্র শোভে ভালে চতুর্ভুজা ত্রিনয়নী অপরূপা বাগদেবী সরস্বতী রূপিণী প্রণমামি মাতঙ্গী বিদ্যা সিদ্ধিদায়িনী।
Within 12 years of age, Vidyuttama, the daughter of Ujjain's king, had mastered every field. Her gurus were not left with anything more to teach her, whether scholarship or gentle arts. Whatever she used to be taught, she mastered it very fast. Thus got the name Gunamanjari, she who excels in learning. Her phenomenal glories were popular among the kingdoms. Kings and princes kept the desires to marry her. But Vidyuttama's pride had no bound. She would marry the man who was more learnt than her. Thus, Vikramaditya, the father of Vidyuttama, set off for the search of the most wise man in the state of Ujjain. All the men who had proposed Vidyuttama earlier had made a plan together in envy and brought the foolest man of Ujjain disguised as a scholar to Vidyuttama. Such fool he was that he was found cutting the same branch which he was sitting on. Now the debate began between Vidyuttama and the fool man. Condition was that the disguised fool will not utter a single word, and she, means Vidyuttama, had to compete him in sign language. Vidyuttama shows one finger to indicate the supreme Brahma. Fool shows two fingers. Vidyuttama understands that Brahma and Brahmavid. Vidyuttama shows her palm. Fool, thinking she would slap him, showed his fist to punch Vidyuttama. She misinterpreted that sense should be kept under control. The debate ended. Vidyuttama lost and married the fool as a result. After marriage, Vidyuttama, knowing that she was betrayed and was married to the biggest fool of the state, insulted his husband and left him behind. The upset husband, being disrespected, runs into the forest and locked himself into the Gadkalika Mandir and began crying. Kalidas, open the door, my child. I need to get into my temple, said the woman to the fool. Who are you? I will not open the door, replied the fool. The woman exclaimed, I am Kalika. This is my temple where I reside. Let me come in. The fool slightly opened the door and peeped out. Kalika with her trident stabbed the fool's tongue, and the fool, unconscious in devotion, remembered his previous lives and exclaimed with joy to his mother, Yes, I know you. I know you, Shyamala. Kalidas inside the temple and his Kalika standing on temple gate. Kalidas, overwhelmed with his joy, exclaimed to his mother Shyamala, Sudha Samudrantha Rudyan Mani Dvipa Samruda Vilvadhya Makalpa Kalpatru Makalpa Kadamba Kanta Ravasa Priye Kriti Vasa Priye Sarvaloka Priye. But the question is, who is Mata Maragada Shyama? Matangi Madashalini? Who is Kuryat Kataksha Kalyani? Kadamba Vanavasini? She is Matangi, aka Shyamala. Shyamala, about whom the Dhyanam of the Dandakam is based on. She is Raja Shyamala. Shyamala is the adjective or synonym of 29 deities under Tripura Sundari Lalitambika. Raja Shyamala, Asanti Shyamala, Sharika Shyamala, Shukha Shyamala, Veena Shyamala, Venu Shyamala, and Lahu Shyamala are few of them. Though the iconographies are different, but unitedly they can be visualized by Shyamala Dandakam. But today our topic is Matangi. There are many legends of Matangi, Vedic and Tantric. The popular Tantric one emerges from Pranatoshini Tantra, where once goddess Parvati left Lord Shiva to Himalaya and did not return for some time. Lord Shiva decided to disguise himself as a conch bangle maker and test Parvati's faithfulness. Parvati did not fall for the test by Shiva and turned furious. Thereafter, Parvati appeared as Chandalini. Shiva, disguised as a bangle seller, fell into love of Parvati and approached her. Soon, Shibojaya Parvati bound him with noose and beat him up. Shiva, realizing his mistake, appeared as Matanga Bhairav to calm Matangi. Devi, realizing her mistake too, begged forgiveness and they both united together. Now, where in Tantra we hear the divine play, but in Vedas it is very practical and real life incarnation of Devi Matangi. During Ramchandra's Treta Yuga, there lived a sage named Matanga in the Matanga Parvat at Vijayanagara kingdom. He was Chandal, dark in complexion, thus was untouchable to the society. One day, Himalaya, the mountain with glacier, mocked Matanga Muni, the southern hill, that he has a daughter named Haimavati, white as snow. What does he have? If someone he would have also, then he or she would be black as Matanga only. Feeling insulted, Matanga sat for penance of Adi Parashakti. Ambika, being pleased, asked for a boon to Matanga, and Matanga asked her as his daughter. Pleased by his intention, the snowy white Haimavati of Himalaya appeared herself as dark-toned Laghu Shyamala to Muni Matanga. Matanga's penance made his status from Chandal to Brahmin, and Shyamala helped his father Matanga to compose ragas and poems in Sanskrit. Now notice one thing, both the stories talk about knowledge, avenge, not revenge. One who is wise has power. One who is powerful forgives. power is Shakti. Shakti cannot be bound. Adya Shakti as Saraswati is accessible to the mainstream society. To the untouchable, she appears as Matangi. The cup will be filled according to the size you have made of. But the thing is that you need to get anchored into the continuous seek of knowledge. Adya reveals her Navam Mahavidya before proceeding to Prajapati. Vayavye Matanga witnesses Matangi after failing to stop Sati. Golden throne seated Shyamala governs music, knowledge and speech. Parapashyanti Adya is Vaikhari to preach. She grants Bagalamukhi, who is really Gyani. She is Matangi, the Tantric Vani.
জগতের মাতা যোগী জনানুগতা অনুগত জনে কৃপা কল্পলতা তুমি জগতের মাতা যোগী জনানুগতা অনুগত জনে কৃপা কল্পলতা তোমায় মা বলে ডাকিলে নাকি কোলে নাও ভকত জনে কমলাসনে একবার বিরাজ গো মা হৃদি কমলাসনে।